So now I think we can start from the PDP module, and we will show you in detail the whole flow of how to create e-commerce images for your brand, again, or for some collection of your brand or some capsule of your brand, right? So first step is about choosing the fashion model. And I would like to mention that all our fashion models are ethical, legitimate, all of them have been created with the complete ethical and legitimate workflows from scratch. We are not generating and creating our fashion models using the open source. So whenever, if someone again will reach out to your brand and telling you, I look like this person from your advertising campaign, prove me it's not me, or I'll put you in legal trouble, it's not the case, because we understand how important it is to be to create content in the legitimate workflow only. So our fashion models, our AI fashion models, as we call it, they are created again from scratch with the 3D rendering, with the 3D modeling. We can give you the certification that these models were created in the ethical and legitimate workflow. And of course, we can track all the stages of development of these fashion models. Sorry to be so long on this part, but this is a very crucial point, and I'm sure that you were questioning that as well. So here in this tab, what we see the algorithm. We always recommend to use version 2 algorithm. It is set for you by default. So just don't change this setting. Then you have style, and in style area you have different styles, different default styles. So you have default version 6, version 7, version 8, and all of those styles, they are different set design environments. So you always can create with those styles that we already established for all subscribers. So they're all free to all our users. But if you would like to be very specific, if you would like to create your own set design environment, your own identity, just reach out to us and we can do that. Our technical team can do that for you. So then we have the collection of the fashion models, and now we can tap the button continue and move to the next stage. So here in this step, what we see is we have ability to upload the main products and the additional products. So the main products are always correspond to the main SKU of your future product card. So if you are uploading, for example, 175 images like Olga just did, then it means that you will be creating simultaneously 175 product cards in the future. You can upload in this main area 1,000 images. So that means that you will be creating, let's say, 800 or 600 product cards, total looks simultaneously, all at the same time. Because again, just to give you some glimpse of what's coming, you are setting now the system. So you're orchestrating, you're setting your future product cards, and then you're just pressing the button, create PDPs, and then the magic is happening. But before that, we must set everything for your future product cards. Very important step is to group the images together, just what Olga is doing right now. So what is happening here? If you have, let's say, the flat lays of the SKU in 3 different angles, you have to group them together. You have to group them in the front, 3/4, side, and back area to give to the platform understanding that all those different angles, they all correspond to one single SKU. This is very important because again, when you will be creating product cards for front, back, side, dynamic poses, obviously what we are always aiming for is to make sure that all the replication of the clothing done perfectly, right? And if you have a specific detail on the back, if you have a specific detail on the side, it all must be visible on all the sides of your future product card with the fashion model. So that's why we're now grouping those images together. We have to do that process for the images that are on the left, and we of course have to do this process for those images which are on the right. So if you only have the single angle of the flat lay, so for example just the front of the flat lay, of course there is no need to upload to group with any other images, right? But please be sure that if again you will have a very specific detail of the pocket of the jeans, for example, and your product card will contain the back pose, then you have to understand that you have to input this this image from somewhere, because platform must take this specific angle somewhere, right? So that's why it's important. Now we are again we are helping to understand to the platform to understand all those different aspects. For example, and if we can show that, Olga, that would be great. So, for example, if you have the front angle of the flat lay, and you have the detail shot of the specific SKU, you have to group that as well, but place and drag and drop the specific detail shot on the specific correct angle. So, for example, if my SKU has the front shot and a very detailed shot, but this detailed shot is only visible on the front, I absolutely must drag and drop it on this specific angle, right? So on the front. Because again, if this is the detail that is only visible on the back, this is the detail of the pocket of the jeans, just place it, drag and drop it on the area of the back of your SKU. That is important. And again, please spend some time here, group everything together, because the accuracy of the generation will really depend on this step. When we, again, just to give you some glimpse of what is happening in the large scale enterprise, is that when you are when we're signed with the large scale brand, of course we work with some brands who are producing 3,000-4,000 final images a day, and with them we're working with the API integration. So this step is completely automated. So if your brand will grow to the large scale enterprise, which I really wish you, you know what to do if you have incredible and large scopes, right? So again, spend some time here, just like Olga is doing right now. And then when you are prepared to go into the next step, we will show you what to do there. Now we are uploading the images, so we prepared everything. We are sure that everything is grouped together, all the detail shots are grouped and drag and dropped in the correct area. Now we are uploading all those images. So as you can see here, you can see the amount of the images that you've uploaded. So Olga uploaded 601, right? And you can see how many images, how many images already ready. And what's important also in this step is that here is exactly where our proprietary clothing replication Genera technology stands out, and I'll explain how. So we are basically in this step extracting all the information from the flat lay. So imagining if you have the silk SKU of a silk dress, right? And your model is having a dynamic pose, right? You absolutely must be sure that the system indicates the material, structure of the material, thickness of the material, right? That is very important, because here in this step, our proprietary technology again indicates all those aspects from the single shot, from the single flat lay shot, to predict different environments. Again, how this specific fabric will work in a certain environment, right? Just like we do have it in the real life. Because again, if I am creating the product card for the thick denim shirt, And for the silk dress, and my poses are dynamic, obviously those different items will move differently, right? And this is a crucial step, and this is exactly why this is exactly why we have to give some time here to the platform to work on that. Right. So in this step, we have all the looks with the SKUs that were combined. What's important here is that the system mixes and matches all the SKUs according to categories. So if your main item, and the main item is always the biggest image, the biggest image of your SKU on the screen, when your main item is, for example, the shirt, the system will mix it with the bottom, with the accessory, with the shoes from the styling items, right? But you can always go into each look and control the styling. And as the transformer, choose the styling and choose the look that you are creating with. So again, right now we are creating the batch for around 150 product cards. So we have quite a lot of SKUs in place. Of course, when you are creating the smaller batch, you will see here the smaller amount of the SKUs. There is a button, look assets, so you have to press it in the top area near the edit PDP, and here you can choose all assets. If you'll choose all assets, it will bring here all the SKUs that you've uploaded in the previous step. Right, so please do that, and then you can again control your total look in terms of the styling, in terms of the fashion model, in terms of the different layers. If you would like to have just t-shirt and then short and then jacket, so 3 layers. If you would like to have the pants, the shoes, the belt, the eyewear, the hat, the socks, all that, so around 10 or 15 different SKUs in one look, just select that, because the system is working with the complex stylization, with the different layers, right? All that is absolutely possible. So when you choose your desired accessories, please make sure that you're not selecting 2 pairs of different footwear, right? Because that would be confusing for the system. If, for example, again, you're choosing 3 or even more layers of the tops, then you would need to explain. If you want to be accurate, you would need to explain how exactly you would like the platform to work with that. And for that reason, we have the area add prompt. So in the area add prompt, you can place the prompt for a specific task or direction or styling direction that you have in mind. You can, first of all, write it down on your mother tongue. So if it's Italian or Spanish or German or English, just place it here on your mother tongue. The system will understand you. And then you are giving the directions for this specific look. And those directions can be about styling, jacket is untucked or jacket is open. It can be about some more specific nuances, like the eyewear, the sunglasses, must be in the right hand of the model. It can be about the appearance of the fashion model. For example, the hairstyle, right? So I would like this specific look with this specific fashion model to have the, let's say, ponytail on her. So please write it down here. So you, in this area, you're controlling the prompting specifically for this total look, only for this total look. But then there is also another option to place the general prompt for all the looks altogether. Okay, if we can show that, great. Yes, so this area, this button is about prompt, which influences all the looks altogether. Where you can use it, I'll give you the example. one of our brands, one of our clients, they're always producing in batches, and they're producing quite a similar clothing items in each batch. For example, they are producing 50 different colorways of the same polo shirt, right? So all those 50 total looks are about the polo shirt. The model is the same, the bottom, the shoes, the accessories are the same. The only difference is different colorways of the polo shirts. So you can place the prompt about something general you would like to see as a recurring pattern across all the total looks. For example, place all the shorts must be tucked in the pants, or all the socks must be rolled up, or all the female fashion models, be accurate here, be specific, all the female fashion models have a ponytail or something like that, which again you would like to see across all the looks all together. Then simply press the button add, and the system will work, and with the generation the system will work with your prompt as well. What's important in this step as well is that you can duplicate the total look. So again, if for example you have quite similar amount of SKUs and the same fashion model, but again different colorways of some one SKU, just press duplicate and the total look will be duplicated exactly like it is, and then you can change something in it and proceed. What's important also about this step is, again, I will refer about something that can be applied to you upon request. If you are creating the large-scale production and you have a very strict guidelines in your brand, for example, you're only mixing jeans bottoms with the jeans tops, or you're only mixing in terms of the color opposite selection, for example, white tops with the white bottoms or something like that, let us know and we will apply those strategies internally. So the system will allocate, mix and match those items according to your guidelines, according to your specific requirements. All right, now we can go to the next step, and the next step is also very important, and the next step is about allocating the poses and the amount of imagery in your future product cart. So always when you are creating and when you are setting everything for your product carts, think about the result. Think about what is the result you're aiming for in terms of the poses, styling, model appearance, model behavior, in terms of the amount of images per product cart, because for someone the standard amount is 5, for someone it's 10, right? It's all different. So here in this area, what we can do, we have different categories: tops, bottoms, accessories, footwear, shoes. For example, for the tops, if we will press the plus, we will see all the poses that we have in our default style, right? So again, I would like to refer that if you do have a specific customized poses that you would like us, Genera, to replicate with the 3D, so be extremely accurate on the specific guidelines that you have, again, let us know. We can very easily allocate it for you. So in this area, all those different poses that are visible for you, they all replicating the physical shoot. So think of it as if you will place the fashion model on the physical shoot in front of the camera, and you will tell to your physical fashion model that I am only photographing this part of the item, only the detail shot of the item, and only the front shot of the item, and you start clicking the camera, the model will give you slight variations of the poses, but the vector will stay the same because you're now photographing only this specific close-up, for example. The same way we have it here, in the same way, because what you are choosing when you're choosing the pose is you're choosing the framing, the position of the camera, the part of the body that will be visible in the frame, and the whole kind of trajectory of body position of this fashion model, right? But how many generations per this pose, so how many variations per this pose, it's completely up to you. Because again, when we are in the physical shoot, we can have, let's say, 100 images per one item and we are choosing from the best one, the system works exactly like that. If we can just go to the bottom area and show the bottoms as well, and also the shoes as well, that to explain to everyone that every category of the pose, they working with a specific category of the clothing items or shoes or accessories. Because, for example, if you are creating the product card for footwear, of course, you do need the shots that will be only about the footwear. You don't need the full length of the body of the fashion model, right? You have to be focused on that. So the system automatically indicates a different domains, and when you are uploading your SKU in the first step, the system automatically places your SKU to a specific category. Either it's footwear, accessory, tops, or bottoms, and offers you the poses according to your category. Because again, when we are creating the product card, what we're doing, we are selling the specific clothing item or a specific footwear, right? And we have to be focused on this specific SKU. In this area, what's quite interesting is that you can choose the amount of generation per angle, per pose. What does it mean? Again, if you would like to have more creative freedom, always choose at least 2 or 3 generations per angle, generations per pose, because that will give you much more flexibility in choosing the image which is really incredible for your needs, right? Here, the quality is always standard. We recommend to have it standard. So by default settings, it is standard. If you want to change it, please do so. But for the default settings, again, it is standard. We believe that this is exactly the quality that most websites require. So then you're choosing per each post, you're choosing how many generations per angle you'll have. And again, you have to do this with every single post. Also, the amount of poses here will correspond of the amount of images that you will see per the product card. Here in the tops, if you can see that in the tops area, we have 134 products, right? So that means that we will create 134 product cards for tops. And all those 134 product cards will have 4 images in them. Then for the bottoms, we have 31 products. It means that we will have 31 product cards for bottoms, and every product card will have 3 images per product card, right? So this is easily, for you to easily understand how will the main picture look like for you. So what's important here is that you can add the prompt for the whole category of this poses. So for the tops, for all the tops. What we recommend you to do is to use this specific area for some behavior of the fashion model. So quite importantly is to say that when you are placing the prompt in the first area, in the individual looks, then here, at the end, the system will have one big prompt that will work with all your generations. But for you, it would be easier if you could divide the previous step for styling, for directions for styling, and this step for directions for the behavior of the fashion model. So if you would like to have, for example, all the poses, all the images in this tops product cards to have, for example, the fashion model with have the gaze in the camera, or the gaze of the fashion model is not in the camera, you can easily place this prompt here, and then it will be corresponded to all the product cards for tops. Then you can always place the individual prompt. The individual prompt can work if you would like to have this specific pose of your product card with some specific setting. For example, you would like to have the model smiling, and you would like to only this pose to have the model smiling, right? That is very easy to set it here. And again, in your future product cards, specifically this pose will always have the model who's smiling. Right. So now we are also just one few words about the presets. So the preset. So for example, if you have the specific preset for generation content for B2B platform, generation of the content for website, generation of the content for something else, you can let us know and we will allocate you the preset. So how can this step can be customizable? First of all, for poses, we can create the customizable poses just for your brand, which will reflect your brand's identity, which will be recreated with the 3D exactly if needed. If you would need to have some specific object on the pose like skis, we can add that as well, right? So all that is fully customizable. But also how we can help you out with the creation is to allocate a specific preset for you. So all those presets for poses will be already set for you. You don't have to choose them again and again every time. You will be just having your preset. You can change your preset. You can add some more poses in your preset, but the preset will be set for you. So this is some small glimpse on how customizable can be this step. So then we see the amount of credits that we will use for this batch. It's always visible for you. Every step, every action on the platform will flag you the amount of credits you're spending for that. So it's very easily for you to understand how many credits you've left and how many credits you are spending for a certain case. So now what we're doing, we're just tapping the button Create PDP, and then we will see all our PDPs ready. Now we can see all the looks that been generated based on your choice for fashion model, styling, amount of images, and poses, right? And now what we will do after is we will starting the QA/QC process, so to say. So what we have in this menu is we can, first of all, upscale this image if needed. I have to say that for the upscaling, it can be used if you are creating the video or if you need this image for advertising for Instagram or something like that, because the system gives you the quality which is even more than enough to go live with. So what we have here as well is we have the button Regenerate. So we can regenerate the look, adding the specific prompt. So for example, if I would like to actually have this bag, not in the right hand of the fashion model, but in the left hand of the fashion model, I can always regenerate this specific pose, this specific image with this new kind of task, new prompt, which we are writing in this area. Then we are choosing the button Regenerate, and we're pressing the button Regenerate, and the system will give us another option of it. What we have here as well, the button pin. So the system always pins the specific image automatically. And if you have here, let's say 4 variations per this pose, which we recommend you to do, of course, the system will pin the image that system thinks is the best one, but it's all, of course, up to you. So whenever you have the pin, which is blue, you can understand that this was the human being who made this pin and who made this choice for this image. And we recommend when the image is final, when it is final to go live with, just pin it with the blue pin, and then it will flag to you and to the system that this image can be exported and can be used. What we have here as well is the inputs. So we can see what were the inputs that you've uploaded here. What was the style that you chose, the set design environment? What was the name of the post? So we have all the trajectory of all of the settings of this post. What we have also is we have the ability to copy the ID. So if you are witnessing some problems with the platform, for example, some bug or something like that, or if you want us to dive into this look from a technical standpoint, just copy the ID. That would be the best way to share this specific image with our technical team to dive into that. And of course, you can also share this image. But we recommend, of course, to first of all have all the QA/QC, make sure that all your images from the product cards are ready to go live, and then export it in one go. Here, we also can regenerate the image using the button Regenerate in this menu. This is much easier. You can also add the prompt. And for example, if you generated the images, but then you think, I actually want more options for these per these specific poses. You can just regenerate all those poses, and every pose will have additional one option per pose. What also important is you can add angle. If you think that, I actually didn't choose the detail shot, for example, and I really want it for this look, you always can add another pose, so another image, without regenerating all the case from scratch, right? So all these poses will again reflect the category of your main SKU. And now we are preparing the total look to QA/QC process, and we are finalizing it. So what's also important is that you can always change in your items, on your images. You can change everything as if you are a stylist on a physical shoot. With the manual masking, which quite a wide and flexible and incredible instrument to use to get to the accuracy and to get to the result you need. So the manual masking tool is the tool that can help you to control the image on the highest level. The masking tool can do everything what the physical stylist, real stylist, can do on the physical shoot, but actually it can do something beyond. It can change the proportions of the items, change the specific part of the item, change the accuracy of the details, change the logo, change the size of specific item, change the length of a specific part of the item. So it's a very, very wide tool to use. What's important, again, with the manual masking is that we always say that with the platform, when you are generating the images, the image can be generated and the clothing replication can be done on, let's say, 89, 95%. But if you would like to get to the 100% of the accuracy of the clothing item, you can always do that with the manual masking. So, for example, if you generated from the first attempt the image, you love everything in this image. You love how it looks, you love the model, you love the pose, but you actually want the skirt to be, for example, a little bit longer, or you would like the logo to be more accurate, or the texture of the skirt to be more accurate. You always can gain the 100% of the clothing accuracy with the masking. Please remember that, and please use this tool, because again, this is an incredible tool to use. So what we're doing with the tool, we are masking this area. What Olga done in the first step was to have the auto masking, auto arrangement of the masking. We will have the whole separate video about the masking specifically. So you will have all the instruments you need to use it efficiently. But now we will just give you some glimpse about it. So you are masking the area. So you're telling the system that this is the area of the item I would like to work with, and you are placing specific prompt. Now the Olga wants to make the skirt a little bit longer. So the so Olga draws the mask a little bit wider than the actual size of the skirt, right? Because we want it longer again. Then we're adding the prompt. In the prompt, we are placing what we want to do with this image, and we are choosing how many images we would like to generate with this specific image, with this specific look, and we are typing generate. Here, you also can have ability to change the model, to change the algorithm. So the version 2 algorithm is the default setting, but the version 1 can also, it can work with some cases. The version 2 can work better. In some cases, the version 1 can work better. But again, we will have a whole separate lesson about the manual masking, and be sure you'll be a professional after that. So for the creation, the generation of the manual masking, so all those fine-tuning, all those changes, all those in-painting work, actually consumes much less credits than the whole generation. So the generation consumes 4 credits, and the in-painting work consumes only 1 credit. And that's also important. And then while you are waiting for the results for your specific in-painting work, you can go back to your look or to your looks and continue working on it, right? So you don't have to stack on something and wait for a system to give you a result. You can continue working and continue doing the QA/QC process. Another important part of finalization of your images is how you would name the total looks. So the name here of each total look is always correspond to the name of the SKU that was uploaded from your computer. Usually, it also always contains the number of the SKU. So if you would like to have it in the same way, just keep it like that. What you will exporting and the images you will be uploading to your computer back will always have this specific naming here. Also, what you can do to control yourself and to help yourself, when you are going to the QA/QC process with many looks, you can just leave, for example, the number of SKU and add final. And then you will understand that this look is final. All the images there is pinned. All the images there are pinned. All the images are ready. The masking applied where needed. And the total look is final. So then we will export it with all other looks all in the same one go. So you can upload it to your website easily. With the button export project, you can export the whole project in one go as the zip file. And again, just make sure that all your looks are ready to go, that masking applied where needed, that all the images that you would like to go live with are pinned, and everything is in place. And the naming conventions are the ones you would need for allocation of those looks on your computer. And then you can easily export the project all in one go. Right, so thank you very much. That was the first hour lesson about the product card creation. I hope everything is clear. We showed you of how to orchestrate the platform, how to orchestrate the system, and how to start creating at scale with e-commerce. Now we will jump into the lesson for campaign and for manual masking. The manual masking, the same instrument is applied for both models, for e-commerce and for campaign. So whenever you will become a super professional for manual masking in either of those models, you can create and change your images professionally for e-commerce and for campaign both. Thank you very much for that, and see you on the next lesson.